Welcome to the Blokes podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Greg, and we sit down once a week to shoot the breeze. We chat about anything and everything. Sports, films, drinking, politics, music, etc.
So sit back, crack open a beer and enjoy.
Mate, that Yoko Ono video killed me today.
Oh, jeez.
Had you seen it before?
Yeah. I've seen similar ones. Yeah, she's bad for that. She does it all the time. Yeah, she does like
screaming.
I think she did a live set at Glasgow. Was it last year or well? It can't have been last year. A couple of years ago, and she did the same sort of thing. But she comes out and she's like, "Hi everybody, I'm Yoko Ono. This first song's called Blah De Blah. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like, what on earth? Why did you even call it a name? It's just screaming. Oh, Jesus.
Mate.
Oh, man. Terrible. Terrible stuff. But the thing is, right, John Lennon was clearly a very good musician and knew good music. But did it not bother him? He must have got to a point where he thought, God, I've encouraged this too much now, and now can't tell her off.
Yeah, 100%.
To the point
because
where...
it's like... Sorry, Karen.
To the point where he's playing with his absolute legend, Chuck Berry, and his girlfriend's there just screaming. He can't... Chuck must have been like, mate, come on, shut your missus up. This is horrendous.
I think, just by looking at that video, that they did a rehearsal with the band, maybe not John and Chuck, definitely not Chuck Berry, but they did like a sound check or something with Chuck in the room, and Yoko didn't do anything like that. And then, because the mic's set up for her little bongo, and then she's grabbing it off the mic stand, then screaming at it right at the end of every single chorus, and then she puts it back and then carries on playing her bongo, and then they obviously mute her after the first one because that's not the plan. But if you look at Chuck's face... as soon as she does it the first time, his eyes go really wide. What the fuck was that?
And Chuck Berry's eyes are usually very wide anyway. You can see the whites of them. They almost it's like Raiders of the Lost Ark. They go right back in his face when he hears what Yoko Ono's doing.
Oh man, yeah, God, that absolutely killed me. That just when she's trying to do it again and she's muted. Oh, perfect.
Well done, that man. Well done, that sound tech.
Absolutely. Blimey.
He's found that mute button for sure. Oh, man. Good. Speaking of Raiders of the Lost Ark, I've been working my way through Indiana Jones again.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I started Raiders of the Lost Ark, obviously. That's the first one. Went through that. Fantastic. Realised I'd perhaps not seen all of it before, because there were some bits where I was like, never seen this before.
Wow.
And so it was fantastic to find something that I'd missed. So it was a new experience. That was amazing. And then obviously went on to the second one, Temple of Doom, and that as a kid was always my favourite one. I don't know. I think maybe because it was a bit sort of scarier and creepier, and there's lots of
Kalema.
Yeah, lots of chanting, all that sort of stuff. It freaked me out, so I enjoyed that more as a kid. But when I rewatched it, I was like, actually, this one isn't as good. This one's a little bit crap. The first scene in the Chinese casino or something, it's like a big celebration or something at the start. That's really good and really tense and actiony. But then when they get down into the temple, it's a bit,
Yeah.
And also the fact that the female lead plays that character so you wouldn't be able to play it like that now. She's like a stupid idiot that's just ruining everything. Breaking nails. She doesn't know what she's doing. Even the little Chinese kids kicking ass, and she's just so crap. But I don't think nowadays you'd be able to do that. But
I think you're right. I think you might be right.
But I've not rewatched the third one yet, the Sean Connery one. So I'm looking forward to that.
Ah, man, yeah. I think I might need to do the same because I've seen all three of them and I do know them well, but I'm sort of there's definitely pieces missing in my brain. So is that the one with the chalice of youth?
Yes,
the third one with his dad. It is, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then the Raiders of the Lost Ark is obviously the Ark of the Covenant. They open it and all hell breaks loose.
Yep.
And then Temple of Doom is the guys that are like taking people's hearts out.
Correct.
And like sacrificing them. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. They steal a little stone
gist.
from the village, and all the children are going missing, but they're actually just working down the mine.
That's it.
Yeah. Turns out it's just a labour camp.
Yeah, just oh god damn, good.
But yeah, and then there's the fourth one. Have you seen that one?
Oh yeah, with Shia LaBeouf in it.
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen that. What? Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I see.
Jesus,
the thing is, right, it gets a bad rap, right? I loved it until it got to the end. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone listening, but the ending's crap. I thought it was dead cool because it works its way through to the 50s, doesn't it? And there's all this cool 50s stuff going on, like teddy boys and cars and all this sort of stuff, like nuclear Cold War stuff, basically, which I liked.
Yeah.
But yeah, when the sort of aliens get involved, that's no good.
I thought we weren't trying to spoil it. That's what you said earlier. Anyway, I agree. I think the aliens thing is terrible. Like, it was too... There was always some sort of, like, mystical aspect to the things, but, like, aliens is just a bit... Like, these... Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. But the thing I have an issue with, there was too many people that were too good other than Indiana Jones.
Too good at what?
So, like, Shia LaBeouf... swinging like Tarzan through the forest.
Oh, right.
And, like, he's too good. He's almost like the hero himself. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It's similar with some James Bonds. There's too many good guys that are the hero, and they're taking focus away from the guy that I like, Indiana Jones or whoever, or James Bond. You know?
Yeah.
So, so that was partly my issue with it, but man, some of the best fight scenes have got to be in Indiana Jones, like the classic, like plucky American protagonist fighting this ginormous German, by or I don't know, whoever, like someone who's way bigger than him, and he has to outsmart him or just shoot him in one film. Which is just the most iconic scene ever, isn't it, in cinema? Like that guy with the knife, swirling it around. Oh man, yeah. Damn, you've got me excited for Indiana Jones now. I need to rewatch them. They're great.
Yeah, do it. I mean, they're all on Amazon Prime, so yeah, they're good to go. They're ready to go. I think all four as well. I think even the newest one's on there as well.
Amazing.
And I think the original woman's in it, isn't she? The woman from the first film she comes back in the fourth one. When they're older. Oh,
God, I've only seen the fourth one once, so yes, right. I'll acknowledge that for sure.
Yeah, I realised on rewatching that the action, even though it's fantastic, is very sort of. I don't know whether they modelled it on like cartoon strip or something. It's quite very cheesy and like slapstick, but it seems like they've done it on purpose. It doesn't seem just like crap film. It seems like they've tried to make it look very simplistic and like. Kapow, kablam, whoosh, that sort of...
I mean, the sound effects are pretty ridiculous, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely got, like, cartoon sound effects, yeah, for sure. Do I think they did it on purpose? I don't know if they did, you know. They're older than we think, I think, especially, obviously, the old ones. They're pretty old, so...
Yeah, the first one's 81, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, I need to rewatch them before I can have an opinion on that, but maybe.
Cool.
So anyway, mate, what are you drinking?
Today, I've got a Lidl special, right? I went to Lidl last week, and I like the booze selection in Lidl. You get a lot of variety, a lot of bang for buck, right? And there are these beers, ales, like sort of amber bitters, they're called, by a company called Banks. Banks as amber bitter, right? And these things are 89p, right?
Huh.
Bottle of brown ale, and it's 500 mil, and it's so good. It's so good, right? And I saw, I don't know whether I've spoken about this before, but my missus, her father, right, has got this like war bunker in his house. We call it the Wonker, right? And it's like, I think he started it like a couple of years ago, like when it seemed like Brexit was coming to fruition, and he sort of thought, well, listen, there might be a few teething problems or whatever, so he sort of filled his spare room with like beans and oats and fuel and beers and, all this sort of stuff.
Ammunition.
Yeah, exactly. Gas mask, first aid kit, all, the
Grenades.
works.
Yeah.
Ghillie suit. And and basically, every time I go back there, I go in there and he's just never dismantled it. He's just kept it. 'Cause it's just like a massive larder now. Because they're classic, all the birds have flown the nest, so they've got plenty of spare rooms. So one of them's this water bunker, right? And it's full of these beers, these Banks beers, and he gets through them like nobody's business. And when I was in Lidl the other day, I thought, I'll give it a go. Got a few of these, and sure enough, they are great. For 89p, they're so good. Proper old-fashioned bitter, amber bitter. Not the sort of smooth northern bitter, but like a sort of Fuller's London bitter. But yeah, made in Britain, proper. It's a proper patriotic Brexit beer,
Amazing.
Everything's in Britain, and it goes down a treat for 89p. So that's what I'm drinking today.
Fantastic. Great shout. I mean, I have a question about their pricing. Obviously, it's amazing. It's 89p. That's insane. That's so cheap. Like, I was in Sainsbury's the other day, and most of their ales, just by the bottle, are £2, maybe 180, something like that.
Daylight robbery.
Yeah, which is insane. Considering, it's different. You can get a pint in Wetherspoons. We were getting sub-pound pints in Wetherspoons.
Yeah, man.
Anyway,
what's the beer that the Ruddles? That's it.
Ruddles, that's it.
Love it.
It's good stuff.
4 Ruddles, please.
But do you reckon they'd sell more if they bumped the price up 50p?
The Lidl ones, you mean?
The Lidl ones, yeah.
They'd sell more.
Because I know just through reading articles and listening to people that Aldi and Lidl have got really good alcohol section, and they actually win prizes. They'll put them in for awards all the time, and they win, like best value and that kind of stuff. But a normal shopper, let's just say they're in Lidl's and they're buying, I would imagine most people, I could be wrong here, but most people won't buy their alcohol from Lidl or something. They'll go somewhere else to get the bigger name brands. But if that was like bumped up the price a bit to near where everything else is, maybe slightly cheaper, I don't know, would people be more willing to buy it? But maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe loads of people buy it. But
do you mean people would see the higher price and think, "Oh, this must be better quality.
Yes,
I'll stop.
exactly,
I'll buy more."
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
because that's almost half price. That is over half price for what Sainsbury's are selling.
Yeah, I think there's two ways of looking at it. You can either, like you're suggesting, up your prices, stick your oar in with the big boys, and like try and beat big name brands, right? Yeah. Try and beat your Doom Bars or your London Prides or Tributes or whatever that you're getting in Sainsbury's, right? Or, which is one way of looking at it, I guess you could try. Or you could think the people that are shopping in Lidl, including myself, are like thinking about the value they can get for their money. They're thinking about... They're not disregarding quality, but they're thinking, I want good, but I just don't want to pay through the nose for it in Sainsbury's. Yeah. So they may as well find this sweet spot where everybody goes, have you seen that 89p bitter in Lidl that's banging? Like, has everyone had that? And everyone's like, yeah, I've had that. Yeah, I saw it in this, blah, 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 blah. And then it just storms off the shelves. But then I guess it's got to be good, basically. Otherwise, it's cheap crap. So I think Lidl at the moment, they're doing the right thing by making it cheap, making everyone talk about it, but also it being good. And people going, actually, why am I paying £2 for a Tribute or whatever when I can get 89p Banks and it's just as good, if not better?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. And if they can do that, it doesn't take much. So for me, like if I knew that Lidl had this beer, I'm definitely going to try this now. I normally shop at Tesco's, let's say, but I know that one of my favourite beers is at Lidl's for 89p. I'll just do my entire weekly shopping there just to save a trip.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. And base it around the beer, yeah.
Base it around the beer. And that is, I'm not exaggerating, that is the decision I would make in that situation, God.
Big time. I mean, and so my missus' dad, like he buys loads because he's like a stickler for good value. So, like his Wonka's full of it. And when I went the other day, I was like, 89p, I might as well get 6, instead of just getting 1 or 2 like I would at Sainsbury's. I'm like, I'll just fill a corner of my living room with this beer.